Okay, so let's get likes working now. So we are going to go to our index.js and we're going to create a new function called like post. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to add the user's email, since emails are unique, as an ID to the likes. So for example, if I liked somebody's post, they would just send them a string with colin@brilliantlabs.ca, and then they would know that colin@brilliantlabs.ca liked the post. However, if I click it again, we will have to remove that string from the likes. So hopefully that'll make a little bit more sense once I actually show you how it works. So we're already sort of getting ahead of ourselves by just a little bit, because we need to determine how do we know which post we're liking, right? Like we can call like post from a button, but how do we know which post? Well, it's actually pretty simple. We're going to send in something called post index, and this is going to be the index in our posts. So for example, I'll do var post equal posts post index. And if we liked the third post, then it'll grab the third index and save it as post. Now all we need to do, if you guys remember, we did length -1 to get the current amount of posts. So we need to send that value into add post to HTML. So we're going to say var post index equals posts.length -1. So remember, if we just added our first post, for example, then posts.length would equal 1. But the index would actually be 0 because 0 is the first number to a computer. So now we have our index. So we're going to send post index into our add post.html. And now what's really cool is when we have these buttons, we can set this on click to equal like post, and then in brackets we can close this and send in post index. So for recap, every single time we do this, we are sending in a new post into add post to HTML, and in that we're sending in the index of the post in this list, so that when we click this like post button, it will send in, for example, 0, which will say we just clicked the like post button on the 0 post. So then it will call down here and it will make var post equal post index. So I'm going to actually show this off. So if we refresh our page and then I right click this like button, you'll notice that it says like post 0 because that is the first element in the list. If we click here, it'll say like post 1 because we have a list of posts. So hopefully that's catching on a little bit. So when we click it, if we go to our console, yeah, so that's working. So we click it, it sends in 0. So then we get var post equal post 0. So it grabs the first element in the array, and then we're logging it. So now that we have our post based on our like post button, we're also going to have a function comment or add comment to post index, and then we're just going to set up that functionality now. So we can copy this and change this to add comment to post. And then we won't do anything with it yet, but at least we know that it will work in the future. So var post equal to posts post index. Awesome. So now that we have our post, we have our post information, we can figure out whether we've liked it or not. So by default, we're going to say liked post equals true. Then we need to get a hold of our user. Luckily, this is super easy. We're just going to create a function called getUser in Firestore, and we'll just return user. So we can do var user equals getUser, and now we have access to our user. And now we have to loop through every one of our likes in the array. So we're going to say for let I equal 0. I is less than post.likes.length I plus plus. So I have gone over for loops before, but we'll go over it as soon as we're done typing out this code. So we're going to say if user and post.likes I equals user.email, then that means we've already liked it. So now we're unliking it. So we're going to say post.likes.splice. We're going to remove that element from the array. We're going to say liked post equals false. And then we are going to break out of this loop. So that's a whole bunch of stuff. Let's go over it. So we are creating a variable called I, and it's going to keep running as long as it is less than post.likes.length. And then we're saying if post.likes in the loop, so for example, if it's the first time running the loop, I will equal 0. If it's the second time running the loop, I will equal 1. We'll say if post.likes 0 equals user.email, then that means we've already liked the post. So we remove that element from the array. We put liked post to false because we've no longer liked it. And then we want to break out of the loop so it doesn't continue to run. So basically all this does is check to see if the user has liked the post already. Now, if we have liked the post, then we want to set our email into the array. So then we want to do post.likes.push user.email. Then we want to create a function in Firestore to update our post. So we have add post in here somewhere. Add post? Yeah, so now we're going to have another one called update post. And then we're going to type db.collection posts .doc post.id .set post .catch error. Whoops. And then console.log error, which hopefully never happens. So all we're doing is we're calling the posts ref. Our post has an ID, so we're saying if the post of this ID, set it to be this new post instead. So now we can update our posts from our index. So we're going to put that right here, update post. We're going to send it in post. And then we're going to test that out because we just did a whole bunch of stuff. So if I click like, it's not going to show that it does anything. But okay, what is the content? One more test. And likes doesn't seem to be doing anything. So let's see what's going on here. We're sending in 0. Oh, I just realized I accidentally typed in if liked post equals post. It's just if liked post equals true. Let's try doing that again. Click like. Any update? Okay, so now Tim at brilliantlabs.ca, because that's who we're logged in as, has now liked this post. Now, what if we click it again? Now they no longer like it. So if we click like, it's going to loop through all the likes. Right now there are none, so it won't even touch the loop. So it'll say, okay, we liked the post, so we'll push it into the array. And now we have our like in this array. However, if we click like again, it is going to loop through this entire loop, and it's going to set I to 0 for the first element in the loop, and it's only ever going to do it once because there's only one like right now. And then it'll say if post.likes 0 equals user.email, which it will equal our email. Then it'll say, okay, post.likes.splice this element from the array, get rid of it. That's all it's doing, is getting rid of that like from the array. And then we're going to say don't like the post, so that down here it won't push it back into the array. And then we call update post, which updates our post in Firebase. So now the last thing we need to do with likes is make sure that it's obvious, because right now if we click like, it doesn't actually look like we're doing anything. So what we're going to do is we're going to give this like button an ID, and the ID is going to be like dash post dash plus post index plus. So every button will have its own unique ID based on the post index. So like post 0, like post 1, like post 2, etc. So now down here where it says if liked post equals true, we will type like post dash plus post index dot text equals on like. Else we will make it equal to like. So if the person liked the post, then give them the option to unlike it. If they didn't like the post, then give them the option to like it. So now if we refresh our page, we click like, it'll give us the option to unlike it. So now it's more obvious that it's working. Another thing that we have to worry about though is if we click like, you'll notice, oh, I'm just going to delete some of the stuff that's not in the way. You'll notice the like is there, but then if we refresh the page, it will still say like. So we want to determine that as soon as the page is loaded, whether or not we've liked the post. So in order to make this work, as soon as we load the page, we're going to grab this for loop that we made earlier, which was used to loop through all of our likes in our post and see if our user had one of the emails to see if we've liked the post. We're going to grab that and we're going to go into add post HTML. We're just going to type in var liked post equal to false, and then we're going to paste that for loop. Now this time we don't need to splice anything. We also want to make sure that we grab our user variable. So var user equal to get user. Okay, so now we're going to loop through our for loop and we're going to check and see if we've liked the post. Now, if we've liked the post, then we're going to change the like text down here. So actually we don't want to do false, sorry. We're going to do like. And we're going to call this like button text instead. So then we're going to do like button text equals unlike. A lot of things like Facebook, for example, would actually just use like a symbol, like the thumbs up symbol, but we're just going to use like and unlike. So then we're going to go down and we're going to look for where it says like. So that's right here. So we're going to get rid of the word like. We're going to end the string and separate them. And then we're going to add our like button text onto it. And there, now we're going to save that. We're going to refresh our page. Now we've liked it, or we haven't liked it, and we haven't liked it in the database. So we're going to like it. Great. It's liked in the database. Now if we refresh our page, hopefully this works. So we refresh and it still says unlike. So we've taken care of that problem. Something else that's really important that we forgot to do is if we go down to create post, we actually forgot to take the post and add it to our posts list. So we're just going to make that fix real quick. This is really easy. We can just do posts.push and we're going to push our post. And then we just want to do post index equals posts dot length -1. We actually have to create this variable. And then in our add post HTML, we're going to send in post index. So that's just going to fix a future bug. And that should work now. Cool.